The first time Nina saw her mother's blood, she was 7. She swore, no man will ever make her feel powerless when she grow. That was the first time she wiped it off her face. That night never left Nina's memory. Her father was a man whose voice alone could silence a room. He was big, proud, and always angry about something: his food, his job, his wife. Nina used to hide under the table every night when her father came home drunk. The sound of her mother's screams was the rhythm of her childhood. One evening, when her father struck her mother so hard she collapsed, Nina rushed out and pushed him with all her tiny strength. He looked at her and laughed. "Go ahead," he said. "You think you can stop me? You're just a girl." That laughter burned inside her for years. By the time she turned 13, Nina had stopped crying. She started training with an old retired boxer who ran a youth gym behind their street. She didn't tell anyone, not even her mother. Every morning, while other girls were learning to braid their hair, Nina was learning how to throw punches. At 18, she was a local champion. By 20, she worked as a private security officer for a company that handled domestic violence rescue missions, a rare kind of job where strength wasn't just muscle, it was purpose. They called her the Wall. When a man raised his hand on a woman, Nina was the one who showed up at the door. She had seen all kinds of pain: women with broken ribs, girls hiding behind curtains. She fought for them all, but at night, when she lay on her bed, loneliness sat beside her like a shadow. She had power, yes, but no love. Then came David. Her aunt introduced him at a family wedding. He was tall, calm, and charming in that quiet, confident way that made people trust him too quickly. A lawyer, divorced. "He's a good man," her aunt had said. "He just needs a kind woman to start over." But Nina had a problem. Her world scared men away. So she lied. She told David she worked as a housekeeper for a women's center. She dressed softly, spoke gently, and for the first time in her life, tried to be delicate. David liked her instantly. "You have peaceful eyes," he said once, holding her hand. She smiled, thinking how wrong he was. Peace was the one thing she didn't have. Their relationship grew fast. He took her out to fancy restaurants. He listened to her stories, the edited versions. He made her laugh. For a moment, Nina thought maybe love wasn't just for fragile girls, maybe it was for fighters too. One night, she slept over at his house for the first time. His home was beautiful but strangely cold, like someone had erased all signs of a woman ever living there. Then she found it. A framed photo hidden behind some old files. A woman's face, bruised but smiling. On the back, written in neat handwriting, "To my husband who promised to change." Nina froze. "Who is this?" she asked. David's smile stiffened. "That's my late wife. She had a bad heart. She fell, hit her head. It was an accident." But something in his eyes shifted. A flicker of guilt, gone as soon as it appeared. Nina didn't sleep that night. She couldn't. The next morning, she made a call to a friend in the force. Hours later, the truth hit her harder than any punch she'd ever thrown. David's first wife didn't fall. She was beaten to death. Case closed for lack of evidence. No witnesses, no justice. Her hands trembled as she hung up. The man she'd started to love was the same kind she'd spent her life fighting against. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just waited. That evening, David returned from work to find her sitting on the couch. No makeup, no soft dress, just Nina, the fighter. He laughed nervously. "What's with the serious face?" She stood slowly. "I know what you did to your wife." His face went pale. "What did you say?" "You killed her, and you almost fooled me into thinking you'd changed." David's hand twitched. "Watch your mouth, woman." She stepped closer, her voice steady.
Or what?
"Or what? You'll hit me too?" That broke him. His pride shattered into rage. "You think I won't?" He swung his arm fast, furious, but Nina had seen that move her whole life. She caught his wrist mid-air. Her other hand struck his chest, then his jaw. He stumbled. stunned. She didn't stop. Years of pain poured out of her fists. One for her mother, one for every woman who'd been silenced. He tried to fight back, but she was faster, stronger, unstoppable. When he finally fell, she stood over him, breathing hard, tears streaming down her face. "I told you," she whispered. "No man will ever defeat me again." The police arrived minutes later. Neighbors had heard the shouting. They found David bruised, trembling, and begging. Nina didn't resist. She told them everything. The investigation reopened, and this time, the evidence held. David was arrested and later sentenced for his wife's murder. That night, Nina visited her mother. The old woman looked at her daughter's healed knuckles and smiled through her wrinkles. "Your father would have been proud," she said softly. Nina looked away, tears burning her eyes. "No, Mama. He taught me what pain looks like. You taught me how to survive it." She hugged her mother tightly, not as a fighter, but as a woman finally at peace.